The proportion of discriminatory job ads in Singapore has plunged from nearly 20% in 2006 to under 1% last year. This was revealed by the acting Manpower Minister. He also said the government is not ruling out anti-discrimination labour laws, but that legislation may not be the best way to change employers' mindsets.
Having fair employment practices is more than just outwardly celebrating diversity at the workplace. It's a spirit companies should have, says acting Manpower Minister Chuan-Jin. Mr. Tan acknowledged calls for Singapore to outlaw labour discrimination, but notes that legislation itself is not the silver bullet. For one, firms may find ways to circumvent new rules. Existing methods then, like moral suasion and tripartite cooperation between the state, employers and employees, may be more effective.
People by nature, I think we are all tribal in many ways. And I think even at the management, at the leadership, in the workspace, it is something that we constantly got to work at, and we need to spend time thinking about it, discussing, in order to make that workplace work better.
Many companies feel employers should take the lead in anti-discrimination rather than wait for the state's hand to move, if ever.
Any legislation needs to be very clear in its scope, and perhaps if there are very specific problems like ageism or gender discrimination, to target that very specifically rather than a broad strokes, broad-based approach.
Results seem to show that progress has been made in adjusting mindsets. Research commissioned by the Tripartite Alliance for Fair Employment Practices found that 98% of employers surveyed highly value the knowledge and skills of their mature workers. 71% of those polled also disagreed that these older workers cost their organization more money.
That piece of research shows that employers in Singapore more and more are aware of the value of the mature workers and the need to include them in the considerations both in human resource and operations, and to make good and fair use of this asset.
Progress has been seen elsewhere too. Discriminatory job advertisements, for one, have fallen from 19.7% in 2006 to less than 1% in 2012.